It's going to be a different story than Alcide.
Sheila.
Hi, my question is, first couple of seasons, most of the scenes take place in Merlotte, and it's always packed. This last season, how are you staying open?
That's a good one.
Arlene is keeping Merlotte going. He better watch out, you know, because Arlene maybe could take that place over.
I know. You know what was interesting was there were a lot of scenes done in my office this year that I didn't know about. Like I'd watch the show and I'm like, wait a minute, you're in my office. Like, who let you in there? What are you doing? Why are you having a scene in my office?
And I rarely show up to work. I rarely show up to work. In fact, Todd took my job over.
Yeah, he's in there cooking now.
He's like got that jailhouse chili, the jailhouse chili going.
Gumbo. Jailhouse gumbo.
Even in that scene this season when Patrick attacks me from behind and we go into Merlotte's and all the lights are off and they even had to put a line in there that I said, you know, Lafayette's always late and Holly's babysitting. Like I had to make all these excuses as to why I was the only one in there opening up the, you know, so that I could have that moment where I stabbed him in the neck with a pencil and said, "Don't move, motherfucker, I will blow your fucking brains."
You directed an episode this season. What was that like, and would any of you want to step up and direct an episode?
What was the second part of that?
Would any of you want to direct an episode?
Stephen was incredible. Stephen, he really did impress all of us. I mean, he was so prepared, and he was so calm, or at least he appeared to be. And the crew just worked so well with him. He obviously he gave great acting notes. You know, a lot of directors, they're more concerned about the way things look than about the performances, especially if they come in to a show that's been on the air for 5 years. They just sort of let us do our thing. But Stephen, you know, would give me direction that I hadn't even thought about, and I love that. I love it when a director, you know, gives me an idea that would have never occurred to me otherwise, and then it deepens the performance. And he was just, I was so impressed with him. And then seeing it all cut together, you know, and knowing the choices that he made, like that moment when the elevator doors open and all the vampires who are, you know, geezed up on the Lilith blood are just in slow-mo, you know, slapping each other on the ass and like being crazy. You know, that was all him. Like it didn't say in the script they come out of an elevator. It just, you know, it just starts and they're, you know, kind of crazy and high. And so that was his idea of, you know, like they're coming up from hell or going down to hell or something, you know. And so the director has a lot of power to create, you know, images, and I thought he did a great job. And as far as the second part, I'm a director too, and I would love to, you know, at least shadow a director and just follow them around and see what it's like from beginning to end on our show, because we always just show up and we do our thing, and we don't really know all the work that went into the pre-production. So maybe they'll let me do that. So I would hope to.
Yeah, he's a director. He spoke the language of a director. You know what I mean? And it immediately arrests you. It's like, because it was a little bit disconcerting at first for me, because when you know, because I've worked with him as a peer, and then now he's my boss, telling me what the fuck to do. He's like, you know, Nelsan, I need you to like do this, and I was like, okay. And then I'm like, oh, he's a director, yeah. Okay, Moya, okay. Yeah, at first I was like, I don't give a fuck what you want. Who are you? Shit. You're telling me what to do. And you need me to do what? And then I was like, oh, you're the director. Yes, I'll do that. But then he's so fucking good, too. He's just a really good director. And like sometimes you deal with directors that are 90% technical, and they're like 10% dealing with you, you know. But Moyer is like a real director, so he's 90% dealing with the actors and 10% dealing with the technical aspects, which is cool. She's yawning. Let me shut up. Everybody in here hungover, huh?
Impressed you guys are here. I mean, I'm impressed that you all are all here. Give us a hand for that. I didn't expect anybody to be here. Jeez. Sheila.
Hi. My question's for the whole panel. You guys put a lot of time and energy into your characters and branding who you are. But when you have downtime, what do you do to play and relax and recharge your batteries so that you bring more in the show? What do you like to do?
What was that last part?
What do you like to do when you're not on the show, when you just got downtime?
I like museums. I like art, and I love music. So I'm always, a lot of my friends are musicians. I'm always going to music shows, or listening to music. I go to the gym a lot. And so sometimes I get really tired, and so I have a PlayStation 3 now, and it's a little trick I learned from the football players, which is like, if you get the new video game, it'll just keep you on your couch, you know what I mean? So you're not running around making yourself more tired, so it just keeps me on the couch, and I play Max Payne 3 or whatever.
I love poetry slams.
Yeah, okay.
So I go and see a lot of poetry. Yeah.
I like to surf, so I go out and do that when I can. And obviously I have to spend a lot of time trying to stay in shape to keep up with Joe and Ryan and every other ripped dude on our show. It's ridiculous. But now, I mean, I have these two little one-year-old boys, so I spend a lot of time wrangling, like, don't do that, don't, suicide watch, don't kill yourself. Where'd the other one go? I mean, it's kind of insane.
I'm obsessed with my dog, Chumley. So I spend a lot of time with Chumley. My husband, Michael Emerson, who you guys must know. He and I, we never know when we're going to be in the same town together. So when we are, and we have, in one of our two homes, we really are kind of homebodies, because we like to take advantage of that spare time that we, might not have the next day. So we really like to nest, and we're big TV watchers and movies, and so we're pretty chill, like as far as. We're not out partying or anything. Although Michael Emerson can party.
We were partying last night, though.
We were partying last night.
We are just about out of time. I've got one final question. Yesterday you talked about certain questions you get over and over and over again and you get tired of. Are there any questions that you just about never get that you really wish people would ask?
Too early in the morning.
That's a head scratcher there.
It's like a James Lipton question.
That's existential.
Nobody ever asked me to bite their neck. I'd like to be asked, you want to bite my neck? That's the kind of thing they get all the time.
Lots of questions.
You got some takers right.
Well, I mean, people always say, like, when people come up and they're just like, you know, they say hi to you on the street or whatever, and people are like, man, doesn't that bother you all the time? And I'm like, does it bother me that random people walk up to me on the street and they're like, dude, I love you? No, that doesn't bother me. You know, it would bother me if they're like, hey, you suck. I hate you. You know, like, yeah, that would bother me. But no, it's like, hey man, what's up? The werewolf, what's up? I love you, man. You know, it's like, yeah, it's cool. Thanks. It's awesome.
People always ask, I mean, you guys get, you must, like, you guys must have crazy fans. What's the craziest thing anybody's ever done? And people, I don't know, I don't really have any, there's not, I mean, I feel like sometimes people think we live in Bon Temps, and like, yeah, vampire came down and it was a, you know, but nobody really does anything too crazy. You know?
I get some weird shit saying.
What do you get? What's the weirdest thing you get?
Oh man, I mean, well, I mean, there's a woman at Comic-Con that her wolf saliva heals wounds when they lick each other, and then with very like dead look in her eyes was like, "Will you lick me?" Was that one? Yeah. And it was like, hey, can she take a picture sitting on your lap? And I'm like, well, you know, I don't know if that's really appropriate. They're like, bro, it's my wife. It's cool. It's cool for me.
It's always the husband and wife situation. Yesterday, a fan came up to me, and the man is like 250 pounds, real big. And he was like, so last time you was here, you signed my wife's boob. And I was like, he about to hit me in my face. That's how it starts. He was like, no, it was all good. I was there, and I was like, oh, because ain't nobody, if I was married, ain't nobody signing my wife's boob, but they was insistent.
That's where, that just reminded me, actually. There was a guy who had proposed to his wife, and she had said no, and he asked me. He said, if you ask her, if I video you and you plead for me, she might say yes. So I literally had to ask his wife to say yes.
You did it?
Yeah. Yes.
I would have been like, man the fuck up, bro.
I felt so bad for him. I was like, all right, I'll ask her, you know.
She's like, yeah, I'll marry you, Sam Trammell.
I think I said, will you marry me? Yeah.
Yeah, the husband-wife thing, that's always like, yeah. I mean, it starts with signing the boob and ends in the red dungeon of pain.
We are out of time, and thank you all so much.